The movie begins with a lion named Zuba teaching his son Alake how to fight. He shows Alake his birthmark and says he will become the alpha lion someday. Alake is more interested in dancing, and a lion named Makunga emerges. He challenges Zuba to a fight for the role of alpha lion and says he will have more time to spend with his son when he loses. Zuba asks him why he wants to become the alpha lion, and he says he wants people to do what he says. Zuba instructs Alake to pay attention as he fights Makunga. Alake gets distracted and follows a butterfly. He sees a moving rope and follows it as it leads him to a group of poachers. Zuba fights and defeats Makunga but realizes that Alake is missing. He hears Alake cry and pursues the poachers but gets shot. The crate that Alake is in falls into the river and floats away as Zuba continues chasing the poachers. The crate floats to New York City and the humans find Alake. Alake, renamed Alex, is called the King of New York because he entertains the people with his dance moves in the zoo. Alex, Marty, Melman, and Gloria go on vacation, but it ends in disaster as the shipping crate meant to bring them home goes missing. Meanwhile, Alex and the others prepare to leave Madagascar as a tribe of lemurs sing and dance. King Julian and his assistant Maurice insist on following them, and the penguins who repaired the plane prepare for takeoff. The lemurs slingshot the plane off the platform and it begins to fly. The animals begin their journey and say they'd rather be far away from Madagascar. Gloria says she is interested in joining the mating program when they return to New York, and Melman gets nervous. The penguins see a flashing light in the cockpit and Skipper destroys it. They realize the plane is out of fuel and brace themselves for crashing. The plane begins crashing and the animals scream and panic. Melman confesses his love to Gloria but realizes she's asleep, and Alex and Marty stare at him. The plane gets close to the ground, but Kowalski stabilizes it and activates the landing gear, but it gets destroyed. They move through the land as the plane breaks apart and the penguins use a parachute to stop the plane. Alex asks the penguins how they can fix the plane, and Skipper says it will be ready in 6 to 9 months. Alex and the others realize they are stuck, but a tourist bus passes and they pursue it. He sees an old lady, his arch nemesis, on the bus, and a fight ensues. She defeats Alex, hits his groin, and returns to the bus. Alex retrieves her phone, but he and the others see a reverse full of animals. Marty sees several zebras and realizes they are in their ancestral home. They walk to the animals, and Alex gets their attention as he dances. Zuba emerges, and an elephant tells him that Alex and the others are from off the reserve. Alex realizes Zuba looks familiar, but Zuba's wife recognizes Alex. She looks at the birthmark on his palm and realizes it matches Zuba's. Zuba realizes Alex is his son, and they celebrate as they are reunited. Makunga stands in the background and says he will use Alex to get rid of Zuba permanently. Marty meets a group of zebras that look and sound just like him. Melman talks to the other giraffes and realizes they don't have a doctor. They tell him they dig holes when they are sick and die. Gloria sits with other hippos and talks about how there aren't any hippos in New York. Zuba realizes Alex is the king of New York, and the audience cheers for him. Melman becomes the giraffe's witch doctor, while Gloria meets a large male hippo named Moto Moto. Makunga meets Zuba and informs him that the other lions are wondering when Alex will perform his rite of passage. Zuba tells Alex that the rite of passage is when the young lions prove their manes by showing off their skills. Alex thinks he is talking about a talent show and gets excited. Meanwhile, the penguins stalk some New Yorkers as they're on a tourist bus. Private pretends to be dead and the tourists step out. The penguins steal the bus and drive away. The old lady retrieves her purse, and the other tourists decide to follow her. Alex's parents take him to his childhood sleeping space. Zuba remembers the day Alex went missing and blames himself, but his wife tells him not to. He gets happy as he realizes his son is a king and wishes him good night. In the woods, the tourists follow the old lady and come across another group of tourists who inform them that the penguins stole their vehicle. The old lady starts a fire and motivates the people by telling them that they are New Yorkers and they can survive anywhere. Mort emerges from the ocean and a shark pursues him. The penguins realize they are behind schedule in repairing the plane, and 2 chimps named Mason and Phil arrive with hundreds of chimps. Skipper gives the chimps instructions and they begin building. Alex prepares for the rite of passage and Mukunga walks to him. He tells Alex that Teased is the best person he can go against, and Alex thanks him for his help. Alex enters the arena with the younger lions. The ceremony begins and Zuba asks Alex to select his opponent. Alex selects Teased and the audience is shocked. Teased emerges and reveals himself to be a muscular lion. Alex moves around him and begins dancing, which makes everyone confused. Alex continues dancing and Teased flies to him and knocks him down. He hits his head on a rock and breaks it. Alex's parents rush to him, and he informs him that he is a dancer in New York. Mukunga informs the crowd that the alpha lion must banish failures. Zuba relinquishes his role as the alpha lion, and Mukunga becomes the new alpha. He banishes Alex and instructs him to leave the watering hole as he wears a hat of shame. Alex and his parents leave the watering hole and pursue some animals from a field. Alex argues with his dad because he lost the fight, and Zuba says he would have won if he were a real lion. This upsets Alex, and he walks away. Melman helps treat a young giraffe, and other giraffes notice he has brown spots on his shoulders. They tell him he has the witch doctor's disease, and says their previous witch doctor died because of it. Melman begins to panic, and the others say he has 48 hours to live. Marty shows the zebras a trick and says it will take a long time for them to learn. The zebras attempt the trick and do it perfectly in one try, making Marty realize he isn't special. The penguins continue rebuilding the plane while Alex sits with Marty and Melman. They all feel bad and Alex says he must fix their situation. Gloria arrives and is excited because she has a date with Moto. Melman gets upset and argues with Gloria. Marty and Alex try to calm them down, but they leave and Marty arrives. Alex realizes he has been talking to a different zebra and cannot differentiate them. He says he's having a bad day, and Marty realizes he is self-centered. He walks away as Alex yells at him, and Alex feels bad. King Julian and Maurice arrive at a field and find Melman in a hole, preparing to die. He tells Julian that he regrets not telling Gloria how he feels about her, and Julian says he should use the rest of his life to do what he wants and tell Gloria how he feels. Melman gets motivated, climbs out of the hole, and rushes to Gloria. Moto dances with Gloria and she asks him why he likes her so much. He tells her she is the largest girl he has ever seen, but she asks for another reason. Moto continues talking about her size and tries to kiss her. Melman emerges and sees they are together in the pond. Gloria introduces him to Moto and says she has forgiven him for their argument. Melman holds Moto and tells him to treat Gloria well. He tells him what she likes and dislikes and says he would do the same if he were with her. Gloria is shocked as he walks away, and several hippos emerge from the pond and say that he is sweet. Alex punches a nest in anger and several birds emerge and attack him. The birds fly away and Alex hears a scream from the animals. The animals realize that the watering hole has dried up and are panicking. Mukunga arrives and the animals ask him what they will do to survive. He tells them they will have to fight for the water, and they say he's not being fair because he will win the fight. The small giraffe begs him, but he refuses, and says they'll have to leave the reserve if they want water. Alex arrives and says he can go upriver to find out the problem. Mukunga laughs at him, and the animals ask for Zuba. He reluctantly agrees to ask Zuba for help. Alex goes to the zebras and searches for Marty. He steps out of the reserve and apologizes to Marty. He calls him a good friend and spots him in the crowd. Alex says Marty is black with white stripes, while the others are white with black stripes. Marty forgives him and decides to follow him out of the reserve. Moto digs a hole in the ground but finds no water. King Julian arrives and suggests they sacrifice an animal to the water gods. He says they will throw the animal into the volcano, and the gods will eat him. He searches for a volunteer, and Melman, who thinks he's about to die, decides to be the sacrifice. The animals celebrate as they carry Melman to the volcano. Gloria runs to him and he confesses his feelings for her. Zuba sits under a dead tree and his wife talks to him. She says they lost their son once and should not lose him again. Makunga arrives and pretends to be sad as he tells Zuba that Alex left the reserve to restore the water. Zuba rushes to help Alex while Makunga smiles. Meanwhile, Alex and Marty walk through the forest and arrive at a human-made dam. The humans spot them and they run away while dodging spears. Alex triggers a trap and instructs Marty to continue running. The animals take Melman to the volcano and prepare to throw him inside. The previous witch doctor arrives and the giraffes realize that Melman isn't dying. Gloria makes her way to Melman but trips and breaks the platform. She saves Melman from falling into the lava and he says he meant all he said about her. She carries him in his arms and realizes she feels the same. Marty arrives and informs them that Alex is in trouble. They rush to the plane but realize the chimps are on strike and the penguins refuse to grant them maternity leave. Mason shows Skipper incriminating photos and he agrees to the chimps' demands. The humans carry Alex and place him above a fire. Zuba arrives and frees Alex, but people surround them. Alex begins dancing, and the people realize he is Alex, the King of New York. Zuba joins him and they both dance and entertain the people. The old lady shoots at them, but a carriage deflects the bullet from the plane. Alex and Zuba get on it, and it flies away. Alex informs the others that they have to escape, but they think that he says they have to destroy the dam. The old lady stands on the dam, and the carriage hits and breaks it. King Julian stands at the volcano, and Mort arrives. The shark pursues him, but falls into the lava. They watch as the water moves into the reserve, and the animals celebrate as Alex and Zuba return. Alex's mom hugs them and Makunga enters. He says that Zuba is no longer a Pride member and Alex gives him a purse. The old lady emerges from the carriage and sees Makunga with her bag. She attacks him and drags him away. Zuba asks Alex to be the alpha lion, but he refuses, and they become co-alphas. Later, Skipper gets married to his bobble-headed bride and they decide to go on vacation on the plane. They say they will return after their honeymoon and they fly away. Alex and the others decide to stay in the reserve, and Zuba makes an angry face. He suddenly uses one of Alex's dance moves and they laugh. The group walks back to the reserve as they shake their butts. The end. Thank you for watching. Please check out these other videos and make sure to subscribe and tap that bell icon to be notified about our latest videos. We'll see you next time.